Beautiful, beautiful, bright day, Agape Nation. I'm so grateful to know each of you is tuning in right now from your own soul, your own heart, your deep consciousness to Agape's Way of Meditation service. I'm Reverend Coco Stewart. I'm delighted to be here with you this morning as hosting minister. And as always, Reverend Michael is traveling. He's in India. He's been at the International Yoga Festival, and we've been hearing from him, and today we will hear from him later. He's been teaching and taking the Agape word out in a powerful, powerful way, of course. And as always, when he steps out of the pulpit, we have dynamic, strong, substantive truth consciousness here. And today we are very blessed. We will have our own Reverend Cynthia Ambriz. She will come forward in a moment, a little bit about her. She's been a licensed practitioner since 2014. She is an Agape minister. She came through the Michael Bernard Beckwith School of Ministry and graduated in 2020. And you may see her on Facebook Live, actually, conducting meditation time. So, powerful, powerful consciousness. Reverend Cynthia will step up. And right now what we have is our own Reverend Jason Davion Mitchell to bring forth a spiritual reading and a living evocation of the soul. Reverend Jason.
Thank you, Reverend Coco. Good morning, Agape. It's so wonderful to be with you all this morning. I invite you to join me for the reading of our selection this morning. Take a breath with me. Our selected reading this morning comes from the book Silence by Thich Nhat Hanh. It can be found beginning on page 76 in the section, The Essence of Stillness. When we release our ideas, thoughts, and concepts, we make space for our true mind. Our true mind is silent of all words and all notions, and is so much vaster than mental constructs. Only when the ocean is calm and quiet can we see the moon reflected in it. Silence is ultimately something that comes from the heart, not from any set of conditions outside of us. Living from a place of silence doesn't mean never talking, never engaging or doing things. It simply means that we are not disturbed inside. There isn't constant internal chatter. If we're truly silent, then no matter what situation we find ourselves in, we can enjoy the sweet spaciousness of silence. There are moments when we think we're being silent because all around us, there's no sound. But unless we calm our mind, talking is still going on all the time inside our head. That's not true silence. The practice is learning how to find silence in the midst of all the activities we do. Grateful for this sweet reading, and I'm going to invite you now to join me as we turn within for a moment of prayer. There is a deep gratitude for the regard that I have for the precious teachings of Thich Nhat Hanh. There is a deep gratitude that I have for the opportunity once again for us to come together as a community. I do not take it for granted. I am deeply grateful for all those who are a part of this community. My beloved Reverend Cynthia Ambriz, my sister, my dear friend, this entire community. So grateful for the living intelligence that abides, this living presence that moves us. It activates, animates, energizes the source and substance of all that is, the changeless. Oh, that which is my life and the life of our community and the life of each and all. There is only one, and I know that one is Reverend Cynthia, established in this rich union. I bless our service today. Oh, I'm knowing that that which the divine presence has ordained cannot be torn asunder. It cannot be stopped. It cannot be delayed. It certainly cannot be denied. So I'm in celebration of the fulfillment of God's orders, its mandates, and how it calls us forth to it now. I'm knowing that it flows through Reverend Cynthia, and it flows through us as we receive that which is ours. I celebrate this, and let it be done. Amen, Amin, Ashe. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, hello. Hello. There we go. Thank you, Reverend Jason. Thank you, Reverend Coco. My name is Reverend Cynthia, and it's my pleasure to be here with you today. So they say that prayer is how we speak to God, and that meditation is how God speaks with us. So we come to meditation with devotion. That is what is required for there to be an awakening to the truth of who and what God created us to be. There needs to be a level of love to understand, to discover what it is that God is as you, as me. So we come to this practice regularly. We come to it consistently with the energy of love. And one of the things that we're looking to do is to inform our mind of its rightful place. When the mind has not become aware of the bigness of our soul, of our higher self, naturally, it wants to run the show. Who can blame it, right? All it has wanted to do is to keep you and I safe. And so through meditation, you and I get to inform the mind that, alas, there is something bigger than it here. And that is our soul, our higher self. And the mind says, thank God. Where have you been? I have been trying to do this on my own. Of course, I will take my rightful place in the passenger seat. So the way that it works is that our own higher self, our own soul, is what is here to co-create with Spirit. And as you and I come into meditation each day, each morning, we're tapping into what it is that Spirit is seeking to create through you and me. We're getting to know what it means to be God as us. We get to ask, what would you have me say? Where would you have me go? What will you have me do? And I like to throw in there, what will you have me wear? Because life gets to be fun. This thing called spirituality, this thing called spiritual practice, it's the only thing that will fulfill our thirst. It is the only thing that will satisfy this hunger that you and I have. That feeling that we have that there is something missing, that something missing is the rest of us, the rest of God seeking to express itself as you and me. And the only way that we're going to be able to tap into the higher and higher versions of who it was that we were created to be is by becoming still enough, by taking the mind and sitting it in the passenger seat, fastening its seatbelt, and letting it know that in no way do we want to destroy it. We need it to function in this life. For you and I are a mind, body, breath, AKA complex. We need the mind. We need this body, this vehicle. Achille refers to it as a biological ashram, right? The spirit of the living God gets to reside in this body, and the body is here to be in service to the soul. The mind is here to be in service to the soul. We want to marry the mind with the heart. During this time, we hear a lot of talk about the merging of the masculine and the feminine energy. The divine masculine is an energy of assertion. The divine feminine is the energy of intuition and receptivity. One is not better than the other. You and I are made of both. When Spirit wanted to experience itself, it had to go from being one to being two. And it began with divine masculine and divine feminine. You and I embody both of these energies. We need the mind. We need the divine masculine. We are divine feminine. We have intuition. We are to work with it all. And so as we come into meditation, we get to drop these 18 inches from the mind into the heart, not disregarding any aspect of who and what God created us as, but allowing them to merge into one so that we can begin to experience what it means to be whole, what it was that God meant for you and I to live, to be, to have, to emanate. And so we start by putting the mind in its rightful place, letting it know that when we're ready for it, we will let it know what it is that we need from it. When I first came to Agape and I took my first meditation class, Akili was teaching it. His mother was present in the class, and I was very, 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 very shy. I did not like to raise my hand, but I had such a profound experience in that meditation class. I saw the silhouette of a female and the silhouette of a male, and they were holding hands and twirling around and dancing in the forest. And then I heard a voice say, "This is why I love you." And I perceived meditation at the time as doing nothing because I was such a doer. I was so used to having to earn approval and love. And here I was sitting in this room doing nothing. And yet I heard the voice of God telling me that it loves it when we play. And I knew nothing of the divine masculine and the divine feminine 12 years ago. But even when we think we don't know, when we come into meditation, we get the guidance that we need to take us along this journey of remembering and awakening. So that's why we need the devotion, because we don't know where we're heading. We just know that we're heading to the truth of ourselves and the truth about God. And that's the other thing. It's the mind that wants to know everything in advance. You and I get to start to become comfortable in the unknown, knowing that we're never alone, and trusting in the higher presence, this God presence that is all love. And even trusting in your own higher self, that it has the bird's eye view of your entire life, what you need to unfold and become who you came here to be. And can you just listen during these moments of meditation? And then are you willing to take action when the guidance arrives? And can you allow love to be what matters most? Because you and I are going to start to shed old ways of identifying, old ways of thinking. We may become very aware during meditation of certain things and experiences that we've moved through that do not feel good to you and me. But the only thing that is real is your purity, your divinity, your perfection, the presence of God, its love, your holiness. So let it all come. Allow yourself to be held by this love in moments of meditation, in moments of prayers. It's why you're here. You would not be here if you didn't want to know the truth about yourself. Surrender. Open your heart. Know that it is why you are here. So I invite you to turn within. As we invite this presence, this love, to caress us, to hold us, as we allow this presence of our own higher self, the mind begins to relax. It is so grateful, so thankful that our higher self, our soul, is here. It is tired of having to do it all on its own. It would much rather be a part of the team and be supportive of the overall goal to create a life with spirit that is fulfilling at the level of the soul. And so we take a deep breath in from overhead into our heart through the nose. Exhaling down 2 feet into the earth. Breathing up from the earth into the belly. And exhaling through your crown. Allowing yourself to be supported by heaven and earth. You are the bridge that brings heaven to earth. Allowing this love that is within your heart to expand and envelop you. Each time we return to this space, we are met in a field of divine, unconditional love. You are the light of the world. Let's take a deep breath in from overhead into our bellies. And exhaling down into the earth. Breathing up her nurturing energy into this body. And exhaling into the heavens. We allow the power of love to be here, now. Each time we enter this space, we are reminded that we are its beloved, in whom it is well pleased. We are divine light, divine love, and we get to emanate that. Who would we be if we knew the presence of God was here at the center of our being, and that we have everything that we need? will not rest until I rest in thee. And so how grateful I am for this amazing morning, to have opened our eyes to a new day, a new opportunity to explore and discover what it means to be us here on earth, allowing Spirit to have full sway. So grateful and thankful for our spiritual home of Agape, our beloved teacher, Reverend Michael, that we have a place where we can gather, where we can come with our devotion as we surrender to our unfoldment. I'm grateful and thankful for this practice that allows us to turn away from the world of effects and turn within to that which is real, that which is eternal, which nourishes us from the inside out, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, the only thing that can ever satisfy this yearning, this hunger, this thirst, is the presence of God. That is this one life that has no beginning, that has no end. To know that there is nothing other than God. It is easy to realize it is the one true power. To know that it is love without condition, love without limit, wholeness, order, balance, creativity, grace, and the peace that passes human understanding. And to know that it created us in its image and its likeness, imbuing us with all that it is, for we are a micro of the macro, the way that God gets to express through us. For it does the seeing through our eyes, the speaking through our lips, the loving through our hearts, and what renders service through our hands. We are in it, and it is in us. And so I'm thankful for our time and the meditation and the stillness to become available to this eternal broadcast, this divine guidance, this still small voice, the intuition, the insights, the love. To keep it going, to stay connected, to access more and more. I am ever so thankful for God. Amen.
So beautiful. Thank you so much, Reverend Cynthia. Give her some love in the chat. Yeah, and you can see her on Agape's Facebook page doing meditation and prayer. So now is our time of conscious giving. I'm going to invite you to begin to prepare your offering. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And the ways you can give will perhaps come up on the screen. I just want to remind you of something, whether you're new or whether you were here 3 years ago when the pandemic was just starting to move into lockdown time. Dr. Michael was booked to speak at the International Yoga Festival, and in fact, he did go, and he got one of the last flights back out of India. So grateful that that happened, of course. And then he usually takes a month off to have some downtime. Well, because of, as he says, the contagion of fear that was taking over, he didn't. He stayed put here at the center and supported our global community. This is all just a reminder for you that then what we did, he gathered all of us and we put everything online, and we were prepared to do it for the most part. So everything is online. And by the way, now that we're starting to meet back in person, that will not stop, because sometimes I get that question. But my groups, the education group, the pastoral care groups, and then the educational ministries and many of the groups, we moved, he came back, we began deeply serving the community. So this is what happened a number of years ago. Let's see. So we want to make sure that when he goes out and travels, that because of the givingness that he brings forth through his life and all that he does, just please make sure that you're supporting your community to ensure your giving and your attending does not go down, and maybe even it could go up. Because as you see, when he is not here, we have powerful teachers and speakers. So thank you so much. That was a powerful time a number of years ago. So the ways you can give, they're coming up on the screen. So, of course, let's see, what do we have first? Thank you, the QR code. QR code, you know how to use this. You hold your phone up to it. It will direct you. It will take you to the donation page. It's really good if you're on Agape's Facebook page, Dr. Michael's Facebook page. If you're on YouTube, other platforms, you can use this to proceed to prepare your offering. You can text GIVE, G-I-V-E, to the number on your screen, which is 424-321-6243. Again, you will be led through how to prepare and give. As always, on all of these, you can set it up to be a one-time or an ongoing donation. Of course, if you're on the Agape website, you're on a safe, secure website, you can just push the donate button. If you still would like to mail it in the old-fashioned way, Dr. Michael still loves to read the notes, the cards, the letters, the testimonies that come. So you can make the check out to Agape, mail it to Agape International Spiritual Center. It's coming up on your screen. 8549 Wilshire Boulevard, Suite 1156, Beverly Hills, 90211. So let me just take a minute. Let me just take a minute as you prepare your offering. I just take this opportunity to bless and give thanks for the givingness of the infinite that moves through every soul that prepares their offering. In a way of wonder and awe, the offering is pressed down and running over for all who have a part of it, all who engage in it and as it. So I bless the offering and I give thanks and I let it be. Amen. Thank you. Let's hear from, well, first we have a couple of photos. I think Paul has a couple of photos. Here we go. This is this beautiful photo. And then we have another one when he is in front of Mother Ganga River. And now we have a video from him.
Peace and dynamic blessings to you this good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time zone you may be streaming in, or whether you're here in person. Good morning. As you know, this month we're rising up to meet the miracle, to lift our vibration, to receive that which is trying to express through us. And we're also in the high frequency of embracing Women's History Month. So we have had Reverend Kim Terranova. We have had Reverend Arlene Hilton. And today, we have our beloved Reverend Joanne Coleman, and she's bringing the wonderful topic, when God was a woman, that fits right in with the rising of the feminine. This morning, we had the Reverend Cynthia Ambriz doing the Way of Meditation service, and we have my brother, Dwight Tribble, bringing the music for today. So I want you to open up your heart, to be available to the music, the message, the atmosphere of Agape that I've had the privilege to represent here in India at the International Yoga Festival, the panels that I had an opportunity to speak on, the keynote that I had the opportunity to give, and the wonderful people that I had an opportunity to network with. It's been great. Thank you for allowing me to be here to represent you at Agape. I want you to have a bright day. Remember to meditate. Remember to be available to the Spirit. Remember, you are here for your own growth, not for your cousins, not for your mama, not for your dad, but for you. Receive the message and glow with God. Peace and blessings.
Thank you, Reverend Michael. He may be tuning in right now, and you can send him some love in the chat. So continue to prepare your offering. I'll be right back. Reverend Jason Davion Mitchell has a couple of announcements for you of things that are going on in the community that wouldn't happen without your attendance.
Good morning, Agape. Thank you, Reverend Coco. We're going to be quick about this. It's our morning announcement session. I have a few highlights for you, but please remember to go to agapelive.com for any additional details and learn how to use that banner at the top of the page so you can click through. In that banner, most of our announcements are held there. This week on Reverend Michael's podcast, Take Back Your Mind, dive into his conversation on the journey to transformation with one of the premier teachers, writers, and speakers on spirituality, personal development, and loving relationships, and the former host of OWN's #1 show, Iyanla Fix My Life, Iyanla Van Zant. Rev will also answer the life question of the week and guide you in meditation. Catch Take Back Your Mind on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. And remember to subscribe or follow to receive alerts when new shows drop each Wednesday. If you're seeking spiritual insight into your relationships, finances, health, life purpose, or world events, email Reverend Michael at podcast@michaelbeckwith.com, and your question may be featured as the question of the week on the Take Back Your Mind podcast with Michael B. Beckwith. Remember to share your first name and location. For your continued spiritual growth and unfoldment during the week, remember, Agape has daily morning affirmative prayer and noon meditation on Agape's Facebook Live page. For your physical health, remember to get your Adaptogen Superfood Greens and Vitamin D3K2 by going to NutriRise.com. Look for Adaptogen and get yours today. Remembering we are vibrational beings being tuned in to the soak. Let me say that again. Remembering we are vibrational beings, tune into SOAK, sound frequency therapy, which offers clinically proven effective healing protocols. This is what you heard during meditation service today. And now SOAK has a magnificent new immersion program featuring Reverend Michael, Limitless Living. 21 days of being immersed in teachings and practices by Reverend Michael. You know you're interested in this. Go to SOAK, SOAAK.com. Use the code AGAPE50 and receive a 7-day free trial and 50% off all the frequencies for the life of the subscription. Sign up today to soak up Reverend Michael's new immersion program, Limitless Living, and get your soak on. Today, the Agape Wise Ones invites the 50-plus community to Zoom with the Tawo gathering today at 2 p.m. Celebrate with the Savvy Elders to share deep spiritual love while connecting as divine radiance. Go to agapelove.com and click on the Wise Ones banner to register. Again, along the top of the website. Odyssey, Agape's Young Adults Ministry, for those ages 20 to 35, invites you to join them Friday, February 24th at 7 p.m. That's this Friday. Click on the banner on the website to join and contact Reverend Arlene Hilton at revarlene@agapelive.com for any questions. Calling all dancers, the movement of Agape is looking for you. MOA performs original dance works which include a variety of dance genres, including modern, ballet, improvisational, jazz, African, and more. We are now accepting video submissions for dancers. You must be at least 17 years old, technically trained, and able to pick up choreography. Please send a dance video submission with your contact information to spiritofmoa@agapelive.com. Agape is open. Join us Sundays for 11 a.m. meditation and 11:30 a.m. fellowship service. Love to see you in person. If you attend in person, please be mindful of our neighbors in the non-metered parking areas around the theater. Only permit parking is available in those spots. As always, all of our services are live streamed. Agape Prayer Ministry is here for you in the middle of the night, early in the morning, and on your lunch break. 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, our licensed spiritual practitioners are available. We know the truth about your life and hold you in the reality of your being, beyond all conditions and circumstances. If no one answers, leave a message and a practitioner will call you back. Call the Agape Prayer Ministry at 310-348-1270 or email us for a written prayer at prayer@agapelive.com. You are not living this thing called life alone, and we are here to support your realization of the truth that is your very life. Peace and blessings, Agape.
Thank you so much, Reverend Jason. Now, I want you to join with me because always we want to have a unified field of consciousness. Those of you who are online, those of us, the 12 people that are here. So take a minute with me and just in your consciousness, I take this moment as God's own to bless this offering as the one power and the one presence, the one beloved life of infinite. Again, blessing the one who gives, blessing the expressing, giving, manifesting energy that moves this living, invisible to visible supply with joyous love. So I bless the giver, I bless the receiver. I know because it is blessed as one, it is pressed down and running over in all flourishing abundance for each and every one. So in gratitude, I release the word and I let it be. Amen. Thank you so much, Agape. Wonderful to see you. Just be sure that you tune in. You can, as Reverend Jason said, you can come down to 11 o'clock service today if you're close. Be sure to come back. Reverend Dr. Joanne Coleman is our magnificent speaker, and Dwight Tribble is our musical inspiration at 8:30 and 11. And I'm going to invite Reverend Cynthia to come back and do the benediction after the chant. Love to you, Agape.
I'm tired of the guilt that brings me pain. Now is the time for me to let go of the shame. The past behind me, I see anew. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change.
And so how grateful and thankful I am for this beautiful day, our beautiful home, our amazing teacher, this beautiful presence of God, its healing power of love. So grateful for the miracles that abound in our lives. Grateful and thankful for forgiveness and surrender, devotion to our spiritual unfoldment, and what it means to truly be the presence of God embodied here on earth. For God truly is eternal, without beginning, without end. The divine intelligence that maintains the order throughout all of existence. The love without limit, without condition. The grace, the peace, the harmony, the order. And we are eternally one with Spirit. even in moments of forgetfulness, there is no way that you and I could ever be separated from that which created us. And so we lean into our oneness with this presence. We feel it. We allow it to saturate us at the level of the cell, to guide us, to love us, to nurture us. Eternally, we get to walk this out with God. And so I'm just grateful and thankful for all that has transpired here this morning, knowing it has been God in full expression. And we allow it to be by saying amen. Peace and blessings, everyone. Have a beautiful day.